I really believe that Bob Dylan belongs in the Country Music Hall of Fame. I think that his influence on not just the artists, I mean, clearly he's got a big influence on a handful of artists who he performs with, you know, Johnny Cash. I see him, you know, I think that Merle Haggard was influenced by his songcraft. But beyond just the association, I mean, Bob Dylan is from a country music landscape. You know, the Iron Range of northern Minnesota and that stretch of Ontario, you know, up above Lake Superior, that's country music country. And what did Bob do when he was a kid? He turned on to Grand Ole Opry and he listened to Wayne Rainey blow harmonic for Roy Acuff. First song he cut, the Freight Train Blues. Well, that's a Red Foley tune, and not a new Red. I mean, that song is from 1923. That thing is old. I mean, Red Foley played that thing on WLS. So Bob is part of this link of chain that goes really far back, and he shares it with you know, some really important early hillbilly recording artists. He also, oh man, there's just so many reasons why Bob ought to be in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Not just because he's from Minnesota. So I really enjoy the performance of it because because in 2016 and 2017, and probably for the next 3 or 4 years, I imagine, to be able to stand up on the stage in this era and be able to recite some fiery, at times vitriolic Bob Dylan lyric at an audience and be a little raving about it feels like kind of the best I can do in order to have my voice heard. I could write a bunch of songs about how I feel in the climate of today's society. But instead of that, Old Crow gets to wear the mantle and stand up here and remind people what 50 years ago they were shouting in the streets. And to get to shout it again in front of an audience, it's really an honor. I can't think of what else I'd want to say than a bunch of jagged, angular, freaky, far-out Bob.